So today I will be discussing one very issue that has been very much in the system, and I have experienced this particular thing firsthand, and I thought to throw a bit of light to it because we have always been in this issue for long, and having observed it over a long period of time, I noticed that not much have been done, or nothing at all probably have been done to improve the situation. So I thought to draw it into the limelight where we can dissect it and chart the way forward, prefer better solutions on how to do these things. So what I'm trying to talk about is, while I was in school during my research work, my school has this model of lecturers, senior lecturers, releasing research topics, and final year students will go on that particular day when all the topics will be published on a board. So students will rush down there and select from the topics. So somehow the information didn't get to me early, as at the time I had gotten there, most of the exciting topics have been selected. And so it was also observed that some students, or most students, were avoiding certain types of lecturers because the topics are published per lecturer. So you see, a particular lecturer might have like 2 or 3 or 4 research topics under him, and it also means that such a lecturer will have those number of topics distributed among the number of students. So one of the lecturer that happens to be left was a guy that I really does not fancy so much when it comes to his style of doing things, especially during lecture hours. The way and manner he handles the lectures, the commitment, the style, it's just not very attractive. But however, there are no much options on my hands at the time, and I had to make do with what was available. So I took the topic. I started running it. I started doing my research. I think months into it, I realized that this topic was not converging properly. First of all, the problem statement was not very compelling, and I realized that I got to a point, it's like I hit a wall. I was beginning to ask myself if it was really important for me or for anyone to be committing his time to such a project, because I realized that the economic value of this particular project was just not there. It was not scaling when it comes to the economic value of that particular subject. So we were already closing up, the session was already wrapping up, and it was too late for me to go for change of topic and remodification to start all over again. So I just pushed like that and just concluded that particular research work. I was not very proud of the outcome, because I was just struggling, because I was not even, the topic was not settled inside of me. But I was just like, I got to that point where I have to just fulfill all righteousness. So that is why I had decided to put this out there. I think it's high time for us to work on our educational system. Our educational system is so dysfunctional. It's so backward. Every year, graduates are churned out, and most of these graduates are unemployable. Yes, the job market is getting saturated day in, day out with graduates that do not have the requisite skills to meet with the current day reality. And you wouldn't blame them. The system they were groomed through to come to the labor market, the system was not good enough. How can a lecturer release a research topic that does not address any real life problem? It's not worth it. Why should a student commit his time, his resources to doing something that is merely academia, that has no real life implication and value? I think we need to shift from such ways of doing things. If a department wants to publish research topics, I expect that those research topics should be collated, then screened at the departmental level to topics that have economic and real life value, topics that addresses real life problems, topics that seeks to address the challenges in the society. See, when a student knows that what he is handling seeks to address a deep problem, it projects value, it pulls a sense of responsibility from that student, and it also compels ownership from that student. The commitment will be on a different level. You will know that you will see purpose in what you are doing, and there will be this joy and inner satisfaction you will derive knowing that what I am doing at the end of the day, should it succeed, is going to add value to the lives of people. Now, once the lecturers at the departmental level have screened this topic, remove the chaff, things that are worthless, that do not add any value, the remnant, even if it is 10 topics that scale through successfully, and you have like maybe 150 students within the department, distribute these topics among the students. You're going to do balloting. Give the student balloting. You count the number of students, do ballots according to the topics available, and then students will go and pick. Whatever topic you pick is the topic you're going to work with. It's going to be a teamwork. So there's nothing wrong with having 20 students handling a particular topic. Nothing wrong about that. I know sometimes they will say, okay, some persons will just be sitting on the fence and not be practically involved. Everyone have to be involved. Everyone must be carried along. And it is the job of the lecturers to ensure everyone have a specific segment of that particular topic to handle. But at the end of the day, it seeks to address deep problem. And another advantage is that the financial implication of handling such a research project can be shared among the students. So the burden will not be on a single student to handle that particular topic. It will also be far-reaching because the research will go deeper. And because the load is distributed, the effectiveness in delivering the stuff will be very, very high. And one of the end advantage of such approach is that because most of this kind of model are going to succeed, it will tend to create something of value, of something that is real, something that at the end of the day can be commercialized, and a startup company can even emerge from such successful research projects. And such research companies now, they just need seed funds to start. And the student who handles such project will be the pioneering people or staff that will push that stuff forward. So you don't need to graduate and start looking for a job. This topic you work on can potentially become your job, because you're going to have a product or a service at the end of the day you're going to deliver that is going to be of real economic value to the society. All the feasibility studies would have been done, nothing missing, nothing broken. There's nothing wrong if one or two students say, okay, we are no longer interested to follow it further, to develop it into a commercial skill. If you're not interested, that is not. Those who are interested will stay. And this can relieve the over dependency in the white collar job and oversaturation of the labor market. And our university will now become a place that dish out graduates that have the potential to impact the society positively. Yes. So I don't understand why to date this kind of model is not pushed out. Now, what is actually happening? What was happening during my time? The topics will be published, and the topics are so much that it will go around the entire number of students, and they will still be remaining most of the time. So every student one research topic, one student one research topic, one student one research topic. And to be frank, it's not all students that have the financial capabilities to be able to push some of this research to conclusive end. Because there are analysis you have to do, there are stores, reagents, and some things you have to buy, and a lot of setup you have to do. It's highly financially demanding, especially in the final year. And because of such financial demand, it's put a constraint on how much you can be able to achieve per time in a particular research project. You realize that at the end of the day, you can't be able to. Sometimes some persons are even tempted to manufacture figures because they can't pay for it, and so they'll go through the back end. They start to cut corners because they cannot meet with the financial obligations required to make that topic a success. So it's something that is really bothering me. We have a lot of things we need to amend. Our educational system need restructuring. We need to beam our searchlight, our reflections on each segments of the institutions in Nigeria, and begin to reshape, readjust, and refine these segments with determination, and gradually, bit by bit, putting things in order. We'll get there eventually as a nation, but we need to start from somewhere. Continuing to do the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is another definition of foolishness. Nigeria graduates are not even first choice when it comes to employability, especially in international community. So it is something we truly need to look into and find a lasting solution to it. You can also drop your comments in the comment box of suggestions that can actually push these segments that can actually improve our way of approaching the research projects, and also the segments in our institution you feel need overhauling. What are those areas and what adjustment you think can be made? So put them in the comment section. We'll look through them, and who knows, your ideas might move beyond just being in the comment box to becoming policies that will be implemented in the government space. So drop your comments, okay?